going on, everybody?
Welcome back for some more STEAM.
I'm Mr. Urban.
And I'm Miss Martinez. We're here to explore the wonderful world of STEAM with you.
What is STEAM, you ask?
Just in case you forgot, it's
Science.
technology,
Engineering.
art.
Don't forget about math. We have some really great guest appearances to share their STEAM ideas with us.
Today's guest is Miss Schiffman. She is the awesome 3rd, 4th girls cohort teacher. Let's check it out.
Hey everyone, today we are going to work on making a recipe and I think you guys will like it. It includes one of New Mexico's famous items, that is green chili, and I'm going to use it in an unexpected way. We're going to actually make an iced treat. Yes, with green chili. It should be fun. So the first thing we have to do is I went to the store and I got just regular green chili, and what we need to do is go ahead and grill it up. Normally you would get a huge box at the store and you would take it outside this time of year and they have these big rolling bins over a fire. Well, I didn't need that much, so I'm going to show you how to do it on the grill right now. Alright guys, I got the grill going. I'm going to go ahead and put our green chili on here. And there we go. Now we're going to let them heat up, and as we go we're going to flip them over so that they'll cook all the way through. How many of you guys knew that you could cook green chili right on your grill outside? You can see that our green chili is starting to cook here. Starting to get some black spots on the skin there. That's exactly what we want. Ah, there it goes. Remember, as that heat heats it up, it creates steam inside that vegetable because there's moisture in there. You can kind of hear it crackling and popping, and you just saw it kind of deflate a little bit. That is a-okay. We're going to keep cooking here until the outside is nice and darkened about all the way over. That way we can go back inside and peel the skins off. We are just about done with our cooking of our green chilies. You guys can see how that it has become charred, and ooh, look at that. Looks nice and awesome. Almost ready to go for peeling and using in our iced treat recipe. In fact, I believe this guy is done, so we're going to go ahead and drop him in there. We're going to wait just a bit longer. Alright, I'm going to call this guy done too. Alright, so there we go. There are our green chilies. We're going to give them some time to cool off, and then we're going to go ahead and move to the next step. Alright, now that we've got our green chili all grilled up, we're going to start making the rest of our dish here, our treat. I'm going to peel the green chili and chop up a jalapeno. Alright, and to do that I'm going to use gloves because I don't want any of the oils from the green chili to be on my hands and then I accidentally touch my eyes or anything on my face and end up burning because green chili can be hot. So I'm going to use gloves this time around. Alright, and here's our green chili, and it's kind of cool because it just has a skin on it, but there are oils that are where some of that heat comes from, so we just don't want that heat to end up burning my eyes or my mouth. think I cooked this one a little better. It seems to be peeling a lot easier. Alright, there we go. Now we're gonna actually pull the seeds out of here. Those tend to be really hot if we're gonna leave them in. So for this dish, we're actually going to take those out. Awesome. All those seeds are just hanging out at the top of the pepper here. And there we go. Now I can rinse that off. Right. And I'm going to go ahead and set that aside and clean off my cutting board. There we go. Okay, so now I got my green chili ready to go. We're going to go ahead and, whoops, this one has some more seeds in it. Ooh, look at that. Let's wash those off. Okay, so let's go ahead and chop up our green chili. We're just going to give it a nice rough chop. We're not going to get too small here. I'm just going to slice it up. There we go. So now I've just got some chunks of green chili. I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to do my jalapeno now. So we're going to actually cut this into rings because we're going to use part of this as a garnish in the end. So I'm going to cut these into rings. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse the seeds out because again, we don't really want to, can't eat the seeds, but it's going to be really hot. Kind of cool. We can just take that middle part and pop it out. There we go. That way we don't eat any of those seeds. Now you can choose to boil the seeds in there, but again, you're going to get a lot of heat from those seeds if you do that. So if you like something super hot, by all means go ahead and put the seeds in there. We're going to strain it out later in the end. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make simple syrup, and we're going to infuse that flavor and that heat from our green chili and our jalapenos in our simple syrup before we go to the next step and make our actual ice treat. Okay, so I have a half cup of sugar. And I'm going to do 3/4 cup of water because I want it to boil a little bit longer so we can get our flavors in there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add my green chili chunks. And I'm going to go ahead and toss in my jalapeno pieces. So I ended up with a seed in there. Alright, let's get this simmering. Alright, here we go. Get this stirring. We're going to turn it to medium heat. Alright, I'm going to bring it down lower now that it is simmering. We don't want it to boil because we don't want to cook the sugar like that, but we're going to simmer it here for a couple of minutes, meaning that we just have these tiny bubbles going on. Alright, if we boil it, if it's really high and we see lots and lots and lots and lots of bubbles, we could end up with something that's not so simple syrupy. It will, as it cools, it'll get really thick, and we don't want that. We want it to stay kind of watery. Just gonna kind of let this cook so that our green chili flavor ends up in that syrup. And it's gonna also cook our jalapenos a bit, and we're going to dip those in sugar hereafter and use them as a garnish and a treat that you can eat along with your ice treat. Alright, I'm going to say that that is probably good. Now we don't want all of this in our treat, we just wanted the flavors from it, so I'm going to strain it out in my strainer here. There we go. Alright, so I've got that. I'm going to make sure that all that's left in our bowl here is the syrup part. And I'm actually going to use these jalapenos. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to put it in some sugar. I'm going to toss it around a bit. And now we have some candied jalapenos as well. Alright, now we have our syrup, and I'm going to let it cool for just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to move on to making the rest of our treat. Our simple syrup has had a bit of a chance to cool. It's still a little bit warm, but that's okay because we're going to mix it with the apple juice. So I'm going to just go ahead and you can do this one of two ways. I'm going to try to use an ice cream maker this time around, but you can put it in a freezable bowl and stick it in the freezer for about 3 hours and stir it up as you go. Maybe every half hour or so you want to go ahead and stir it. But I'm going to try and make our process here a little bit faster by using an ice cream maker. All right. So this was a container of apple juice. Okay, and then here is our simple syrup from earlier. Go ahead and pour that in there. That has all our green chili flavor. Alright, and go ahead and put in our stirring. So as it freezes, it's going to be mixed so that it breaks up those ice crystals as it gets colder. Alright. So I'm going to put it in the ice cream maker here. And you will need rock salt, some ice. Alright, so I've got my container, I've got my stir in there, I've got my lid on it, and now I'm going to go ahead and start packing in the ice. Alright, let's go ahead and shake in some rock salt here. There we go. And here's our motor that's going to help us stir. And in about 10 minutes, I'm going to check it to make sure that, to see how far along it has come and if it's frozen enough to be our iced treat. We want to check it every couple of minutes because We won't want it to overfreeze and accidentally break the motor on the machine. If it gets too tough to turn, that wouldn't be a good thing. So I will check it in about 10 minutes. All right, I have left this on about 20 minutes. I checked it about halfway through, and now I am seeing that I think we are done. So let's check it out. Here it goes. And again, you can do it this way if you have an ice maker, or you can put it in the freezer. It will just take longer, about 3 hours. You can stir it about every half an hour so that you're breaking up those ice crystals. But the ice cream machine went ahead and did it for us. Let me get some oven mitts. This is very cold. It's been sitting in salt, rock, and ice. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Nice and cold. All right. Could probably even do it a little longer if you wanted to. And we can go ahead and add in our candied jalapeno. And you can see that there is our apple and green chili ice treats.
Wow, there was a lot of steam in that video.
Yeah, there was. For the science part, for the water to boil, it had to be at least 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the water to freeze into the ice for ice cream, it had to be at least 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Miss Schiffman used so much technology in that video. She used the grill, the stove, the tongs, the ice cream machine. All those made her life easier in order for her to create this ice cream.
That's right. Without all this technology, none of this would have been possible. Thanks for all the engineers making all this great stuff.
That's right, Mr. Urban, and it was also very artistic. The way Miss Schiffman combined flavors and ingredients together. Green chili is also very prominent to our culture here in New Mexico, seeing that it was born and raised here.
You know it. And there's lots of math in this as well. Without precise measurements, Miss Schiffman could not have measured the right amount of water or sugar.
Wow, that video was so great, and I didn't even know steam was going to be used in so many places.
Thank you so much for sharing that excellent ice treat, Miss Schiffman.
Steam on, seahorses!